If these words have reached you, it is not by accident. You were guided here because this day carries a weight unlike the others, a sacred current that only those awake in spirit can sense. There are days that pass unnoticed, and there are days marked by divine design. September 19th belongs to the second kind. It is a day when God's favor rests upon you, when the unseen moves to shift circumstances in your favor, and when the heavens whisper your name with intention. This message is not for everyone. Many will scroll by, blind to the timing, deaf to the call, numb to the movement of grace that hovers in the air. But you, who remain here with your spirit stirred, are among the few chosen to hear this confirmation. God's favor is not random. It does not fall where it is not prepared. It comes to those who endured, who planted in silence, who walked when no one clapped, who prayed when no one listened. Favor finds those who remained faithful. On this day, the promise is immense. Doors that seemed locked may open without warning. Paths that felt blocked may clear in ways you did not plan. Help may come from unexpected places, and strength may rise in your heart with no visible reason. This is what favor looks like. Ease in the middle of struggle, provision where lack once ruled, peace in the middle of storms. Yet there is also a warning hidden within. To ignore favor is to waste it. To doubt it is to delay it. To resist it is to weaken its flow. What is being offered must be recognized and received. Think of this as a journey you are beginning right now. You will be shown how God's favor reveals itself in 3 clear expressions: breakthroughs, protection, and abundance. You will understand why it comes now, how to recognize the signs that it is already at work, and how to secure it through a decree that seals your path. Every step matters. Every word carries weight. And by the end, you will hold a key that keeps this favor rooted in your life beyond this single day. Stay close until the very last line, for the decree waiting at the end of this passage is the anchor of your destiny. It will not only affirm what God has begun, but also lock it into your spirit, so nothing can steal what has been given. And with this awareness, we step into the journey of Virgo's hidden path, the soil where this favor has been quietly growing. Virgo's story is often one of silence, of effort unseen and strength unrecognized. Many underestimate Virgo because they move quietly, because they carry burdens without asking for applause, because they are patient where others are loud. Yet the silence was never weakness. It was preparation. The path of hidden endurance is not wasted. It is the very ground where God's favor takes root. For those born under Virgo, or walking with Virgo's energy, today is the unveiling of what has been nurtured in secret. Think of the seasons you endured without recognition, the sacrifices that no one celebrated, the discipline that went unnoticed. Every seed sown in those moments was recorded, not by men, but by the unseen. God does not forget what is planted in faith. The hours you spent carrying weight in solitude, the prayers whispered in the dark, the resilience shown when everything pushed against you, all of these became offerings. They were written into the eternal record, waiting for the moment when favor would descend like rain upon dry soil. It is here, in this context, that envy often arises. People see the bloom without recognizing the planting. They admire the harvest, but forget the years of preparation. But God saw every step. The hidden journey of Virgo has been honored, and today, favor makes what was invisible visible. The glow you carry now is not sudden luck. It is divine timing intersecting with your faithfulness. Those who mocked the silence will be forced to witness the fruit. This favor is not given lightly. It comes because you endured the test of invisibility without surrendering your essence. You stood when others fell. You remained disciplined when others sought shortcuts. You believed when others doubted. The reward of favor belongs to those who trusted the unseen long enough for it to manifest. Virgo embodies that trust, and now the light of September 19th shines to confirm it. The mission tied to this favor is larger than individual reward. It carries with it the breaking of old patterns, the healing of generational wounds, the rewriting of stories once marked by lack or disappointment. God's favor arrives not only to bless you, but to extend through you to those connected by blood, by love, by destiny. The silent preparation of Virgo was never personal. It was always spiritual. And now, as this hidden journey is honored, we move into the mystical framework to understand what divine favor truly means. To understand divine favor, you must see it as more than blessing. Favor is not simply a good moment or a stroke of fortune. It is grace that opens doors your effort alone could not unlock. It is God moving ahead of you, aligning circumstances, clearing obstacles, and preparing spaces before your feet even arrive. It is the unseen hand arranging the details that seem impossible to explain. Favor is when what you could not reach on your own comes to you, because heaven decided it belongs to you. Astrology offers us metaphors for this mystery. Just as a trine aspect creates flow and ease between planets, so does favor create pathways that feel effortless. The energy does not resist, it aligns. Where once you pushed against walls, suddenly you find them opening. Where once there was silence, voices rise to help you. Where once you faced rejection, a new door appears with no effort on your part. Favor is movement without striving, breakthrough without explanation, peace without logic. This day carries such energy because the full moon cycle has just released its residue, clearing away what no longer belongs and leaving space for something new. In the vacuum of release, God plants favor, because only when the soil is cleared can new seeds grow. September 19th becomes a window of divine alignment, a moment when heaven and earth touch, when timing and purpose meet. Those who are awake to this timing will recognize the shift. Signs of favor will begin to show in small but unmistakable ways. A sudden sense of ease, help appearing at the perfect moment, peace flowing even though circumstances have not yet changed. These are signals that God's hand is near. The temptation is to dismiss them as coincidence, but nothing about favor is random. It is intentional, precise, and targeted. The warning, however, is clear. Favor must be recognized. To resist it out of fear, to dismiss it as luck, or to complain in the middle of it weakens its flow. Favor asks for acknowledgement, gratitude, and trust. It asks you to step into the opening without hesitation, to honor the gift without doubting if you are worthy. And so the framework is set. Divine favor has been named, its timing revealed, and its signs identified. Now we move into its first expression, the breakthroughs that arrive suddenly, shifting everything in your favor when you least expect it. The first expression of God's favor is breakthroughs, and they arrive suddenly, like light piercing a closed room. These are the moments when situations that felt heavy, immovable, or delayed shift in your favor without warning. You may have prayed, waited, and worked faithfully for seasons, wondering if anything would ever change. Then, in a moment that feels almost too simple, the door opens. This is not accident. It is divine intervention. Favor moves where effort cannot, and breakthroughs are the evidence. Breakthroughs often appear in places where you had almost given up. The promotion you thought had passed you by suddenly returns. A relationship that seemed distant is restored. A new opportunity arises from a conversation you did not plan. Healing flows in areas where you carried pain for too long. These shifts are not explained by logic. They are written by grace. Favor does not ask for your permission to act. It simply moves when the time is ripe, and today is such a time. The danger in breakthrough is doubt. Because the change comes so suddenly, your mind may question whether it is real, whether it will last, whether you deserve it. Doubt can delay the fullness of blessing by pulling you back into fear. Do not let this mistake rob you. When favor brings a breakthrough, your only task is to accept it, step into it, and act in faith. Gratitude is the posture that locks it in place. Imagine a Virgo who has been overlooked at work, consistently faithful yet rarely acknowledged. On this day, the supervisor who once ignored them now highlights their name. presenting them with an opportunity that seemed impossible a week ago. Envy may stir around them, whispers may rise, but favor has spoken. The breakthrough is undeniable, and no shadow can close what God has opened. Your affirmation in this moment is simple yet powerful. What is mine comes with ease. Speak it until your spirit believes it, until your mind stops questioning whether the door belongs to you. When favor delivers, you do not need to push. It flows to you because it was always prepared for you. Breakthroughs mark the visible edge of favor, but they are only the beginning. To understand why they arrive now, we must look deeper into the spiritual explanation, where hidden seeds, divine timing, and the balance of light and shadow reveal why the door has opened at this exact moment. Breakthroughs are never random. They are the visible fruit of seeds planted long before anyone could see. What feels sudden in the natural world has been building quietly in the spiritual for years. Every silent prayer, every disciplined step, every act of faith you carried in darkness became a foundation for the favor that now unfolds. God's timing is not delay but design, and the breakthroughs arriving today are the result of divine timing meeting human endurance. Think of a seed hidden beneath the soil. For weeks or months, nothing appears above ground, and to the eye, it seems as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are spreading, strength is forming, and life is preparing to rise. The breakthrough is not when the seed begins, but when the growth becomes visible. So it is with favor. What you see now is simply the unveiling of what heaven has been preparing all along. This is why breakthroughs often appear after seasons of testing. The silence you endured, the times you felt overlooked, were not absence, but preparation. Favor multiplies when patience is proven. God allows delay so that character is formed, ensuring that when the blessing arrives, you are strong enough to carry it. Breakthroughs without preparation collapse, but breakthroughs built on faith endure. There is also a duality here. As blessings rise, so too does envy. Not everyone will celebrate what God has given you. Some will question, others will resent, and a few may even try to diminish what you have received. Do not be surprised when light exposes shadow. This is the cost of visibility. Yet their envy is not a sign of weakness in you. It is confirmation of alignment. Favor always reveals who is truly for you and who is not. So when doors open now, do not hesitate. Walk through them with confidence, knowing they were prepared in advance for you. Do not waste time explaining your breakthrough to those who cannot understand it. Gratitude and faith are your answers, and trust is your posture. This is why favor feels so heavy today. It is not luck, it is the fulfillment of what was promised. And just as favor reveals itself through breakthroughs, it also shows itself as protection, keeping you safe from harm, redirecting you when danger hides behind opportunity. This second expression of favor is just as powerful, and it is the next step of the journey. The second expression of God's favor is protection, and often it is the one least recognized. While breakthroughs feel exciting and obvious, protection is quieter, hidden in closed doors and unexpected delays. Yet this favor is just as powerful, for it shields you from harm you may not even see. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually divine redirection, a safeguard keeping you from paths that would have led to loss. God's favor does not only open doors, it also closes them when necessary. Think of the moments when you prayed for something with all your heart, but the answer did not come. At the time, it felt like silence, disappointment, even abandonment. But looking back, you realize the unanswered prayer was protection in disguise. The relationship that fell apart saved you from years of heartbreak. The job that slipped through your fingers freed you for something greater. The delay you hated kept you from rushing into danger. This is favor at work, unseen yet undeniable once revealed. Virgo's energy today aligns with this protective grace. Known for discernment and careful steps, Virgo becomes a vessel through which protection flows. You may notice certain people distancing themselves from you, not by conflict, but by quiet separation. Do not chase what God has removed. If they leave in this season, It is because their presence would disrupt your blessing. Favor clears the table so only those meant to share the feast remain. The mistake many make is to fight against closed doors, to beg for what is gone, to force open what was never meant to be theirs. But the protocol of favor is trust. Trust that every no carries within it a hidden yes that will reveal itself in time. Trust that what is withheld is replaced by something far greater. Trust that protection is not punishment, but love expressed in silence. Affirm this truth when fear or disappointment rises. I am shielded by grace. Let those words anchor you when you do not understand why a door closed. They remind you that God sees what you cannot, and His favor surrounds you not only with blessings you recognize, but also with safety you may never fully know. This protection is not theory. It has been proven in countless lives, through stories where favor became visible only after time revealed what danger had been avoided. To see this more clearly, we step now into a vignette of proof, where protection first looked like delay, but was revealed as the greatest gift of all. There was once a Virgo who carried dreams heavy on their heart, praying and working faithfully for doors to open. An opportunity came that seemed perfect, the kind that promised to change everything. They reached for it with hope, but at the final moment, the door closed. Confusion followed, then disappointment, then the quiet ache of feeling forgotten. They asked, "Why not now? Why not me?" Yet silence was the only answer. In the days that followed, signs began to appear. On the clock, 444 repeated again and again, the number of protection. In dreams, they walked through dark paths only to be shielded by sudden light, a presence guiding them safely away. And though they did not understand fully, peace began to flow in their chest like water, as if heaven whispered, "You are safe, even here." They held on to that peace even when their mind doubted, even when others mocked their patience. Months later, the truth revealed itself. The opportunity they had once desired so deeply had collapsed for those who pursued it. The project that looked like promise ended in failure, draining those involved of both energy and resources. The Virgo who had been shielded now stood free, preserved by a favor they did not understand at the time. Immediately after, another door opened, one that aligned perfectly with their purpose, carrying not only provision but peace. What once felt like rejection was revealed as redirection, and what once felt like delay was seen as protection. The turning point was not only in the outcome, but in the perspective. They realized that God's favor is not always the yes we want, but often the no we need. They understood that grace is not just about giving, but also about guarding. Envy had no power over them. Disappointment could not chain them, because protection had already been written into their story. The moral is simple. When favor removes, it is making space to give. When favor delays, it is preparing the right timing. When favor shields, it is securing a blessing far greater than what you asked for. To live under divine favor is to trust even when you cannot see. And as this story proves the weight of protection, we move now into the third expression of favor, one that shines brightest under Virgo's influence, abundance flowing into every area of life, both seen and unseen. The third expression of God's favor is abundance, and it arrives not only as material provision, but as fullness in every area of your life. When favor flows, resources appear where lack once lived, opportunities rise where silence once ruled, and support emerges from directions you did not expect. Abundance is not always measured in numbers or wealth. It is also peace that cannot be stolen, joy that does not depend on circumstances, and strength that carries you further than your own power ever could. For Virgo, this abundance reveals itself in clarity and order. Doors open that align perfectly with the steps you have prepared. People come into your life with the exact help you need at the exact moment you need it. Sometimes abundance looks like financial increase, but often it shows up in surprising ways. A connection that unlocks opportunity, a word that sparks direction, or a gift that arrives precisely when you are about to run out. This is not coincidence. It is provision written by divine hands. The mistake many make is ignoring the small blessings while waiting for something grand. Yet abundance multiplies when gratitude is given for the little. A meal shared in love, a bill unexpectedly paid, a stranger's kindness, all of these are signs of favor flowing. To dismiss them is to miss the proof that heaven has already begun releasing what you prayed for. To align with this abundance, you must learn to celebrate in advance. Speak gratitude before the fullness arrives. Honor every provision, no matter how small, and create rituals that anchor the flow. Light a candle in a quiet room, whisper thanks for what has already come, and declare aloud, "Abundance flows to me with grace." These simple acts shift your energy into receiving mode, keeping you aligned with favor rather than fear. Abundance is not meant to make you boastful, but to remind you that you are covered. It is the outward sign of inward favor, proof that heaven's resources are not limited. When envy rises, abundance answers. When doubt whispers, provision silences it. You are not forgotten. You are supplied. This abundance is the final expression of favor, and together with breakthroughs and protection, it completes the picture of what today carries. But how do you know for certain that this favor is active? The universe leaves confirmations, signs that prove you are walking in alignment. These signs will appear, and when you notice them, you will know that God's favor is firmly with you. The signs that God's favor is resting on you are never random. They come as confirmations, quiet yet undeniable, that you are aligned with heaven's flow. Sometimes they arrive as chills across your body when no wind is near, as if the unseen brushes past you to remind you that you are not alone. Sometimes they come as numbers repeating, 888 for abundance, 444 for protection, or 333 as a reminder of divine presence. Other times, favor reveals itself through synchronicities, conversations aligning with your thoughts, opportunities appearing the moment you release doubt, dreams carrying the same message again and again. These are not coincidences, they are signals. They whisper that you are walking in the rhythm of grace, that what you have been carrying in faith is already unfolding in spirit. If you do not see them immediately, do not despair. Often the signs arrive in sleep or within 2 days, when your heart is quiet enough to hear them. Favor does not rush. It reveals itself at the exact moment it is meant to. The way to keep this flow strong is through simple acts of alignment. Begin each day with gratitude, even if it is for something small. Take one conscious breath, place your hand over your heart, and say, "I receive God's favor." This simple prayer keeps your spirit open and your path clear. Acts of generosity also strengthen the flow, because favor multiplies when it is shared. Give what you can: time, kindness, a word of encouragement, and watch how the cycle returns multiplied. Just as important is what you avoid. Do not compare your blessings to those of others, for comparison poisons gratitude. Do not speak against what you are receiving, for your words shape the field of favor around you. And do not allow fear to convince you that blessings will vanish. Fear closes what favor has opened. Instead, stand steady, knowing that what God has given cannot be stolen. Seal this alignment with a declaration: I receive God's favor. Write it, speak it, comment it, and let it become the echo of your spirit. Each repetition strengthens the decree. Each word anchors the blessing deeper. And with these signs as confirmation, the journey arrives at its highest point, the decree of favor itself, spoken aloud to seal what heaven has already released. This is the moment where your path is locked in blessing, never to be undone. You were never forgotten, and today is the proof. God's favor has rested on your path, and every step that felt invisible was only preparation for this unveiling. September 19th is not just another day. It is a divine appointment, a window where heaven leans closer to earth and declares that you are chosen. The trials, the silence, the endurance you carried without recognition have been transformed into testimony. Favor has spoken, and what once felt hidden now shines for all to see. Remember what this favor means. It is not luck, nor chance, nor coincidence. It is grace, flowing where effort alone could not reach. It is the hand that opened doors you could not force, the shield that closed paths that would have harmed you, the provision that appeared when resources were gone. It is breakthroughs, protection, and abundance woven together into a covering that follows you wherever you go. This is the mark of being loved by God, and no envy, no shadow, no resistance can remove it. Now is the moment to seal this truth with your voice. Decree aloud with full conviction, God's favor is with me. I walk in blessing. Let the words roll from your chest as if they carry the weight of generations, because they do. Speak them until they vibrate through every cell of your being, until heaven and earth echo the same declaration. These words are not only affirmation, they are a contract, a seal, a divine signature written over your life. Do not stop there. Multiply the power of this decree by declaring it publicly. Write it, share it, comment it. I receive God's favor. Each repetition strengthens the alignment. Each echo builds a wall of light around your destiny. Favor is not something to hide. It is something to acknowledge, to celebrate, to live boldly in. And know this, the flow does not end tonight. The same God who marked this day has already prepared the next steps. Signs will continue to arrive, instructions will unfold, and doors will keep opening. Stay awake, stay grateful, stay ready, because favor is not fleeting, it is faithful. See yourself now under a sky lit with divine light, Virgo steady and unshakable, covered in grace that cannot be removed. Walk forward with peace in your chest and radiance on your path. God's favor is with you today, and it will not leave you tomorrow.